race fans, and welcome here as we prepare ourselves for the 25th race of the season for the 4th season of the NNSCRA Hersheys Cup Series. We are getting set here for our next to last race of the regular season, in which we will determine the 16 drivers that will battle for this season's Hersheys Cup Series Championship. Coming into today's race, folks, we knew it might get to this point, and it really has. Inside the top 30 in the points, there are 17 different race winners, Gallighan being the most recent last week at Hillside International Raceway, which means you will see it. You'll see the current chase points. Right now, one driver has a 1 in the win column, but is outside the cut line for making it into the chase for the championship. And I'm going to spoil it right now. You'll see it, but I'm going to spoil it right now. Believe it or not, that driver comes into this race right now in that critical 30th spot in the points, and it is the defending champion of this series, K Mathews. And we're throwing another log on the fire here today because we're going dirt track racing. We were originally supposed to go road course racing at Yas Marina Circuit, but the last couple of seasons, Yas Marina Circuit, while it's had good racing, it hasn't been really exciting for the win. The leaders pulled away. It's been, not the excitement we need to build here, getting close to the end of the regular season with a chase spot on the line. So we're here at our 4th dirt track of the season at DuQuoin Raceway. We're going to get ready to go racing for 40 laps here today. And if we have an driver, an 18th driver, go to victory lane today, oh my goodness, it is going to be crazy in 2 weeks at the regular season finale at M&M's Super Speedway. There are some drivers that come into this race already locked into the chase for the championship, regardless of what happens here today at DuQuoin and what happens in 2 weeks at M&M Super Speedway. We'll get to that in just a moment. But look up here at the front. You've got Joshua Michaels on the pole position, trying to get Honda its first win of the season. Also, Joshua Michaels trying to get his first win since the season finale at Auto Club back in Season 2. Cody Lamas won the last time we were out at a dirt track. He beat Sean Gallighan at Springfield. He is going to roll off from second, trying to go for his second straight dirt track victory. And then you got behind him, you've got Brooke Allen. She's looking for her first win of the season. So far, nothing for victory lane as far as the Michael Norm Motorsports cars this season. And alongside of her, another guy who's gone to victory lane at a dirt track this season at Bristol Dirt, Garrett Sydnor in the 38. Let's go down trackside and get the command.
Drivers, start your engines!
Command to fire them up is given. It'll be 3 stages, obviously. 15, 15, and 10 here today at DuQuoin. And as you are looking at your current chase standings of who would be in, who would be out if the season were to end right now and the chase were to begin at this point in time. And you can see here, these are drivers that a lot of them are locked in. Drivers like Dylan Poteet, J McCloud, they're locked into the chase, as are J Arndt, Anthony McCrury, T Dunham. Sean Gallighan is locked in, as well as Matt Haas, J Baskinger, Cody Llamas, Jessica Shelton, Charles Sandfer, and Garrett Sydnor. Regardless of what happens here this week and at M&M Super Speedway, J Bryant, he can lock himself a spot up in the chase with a top 10 here today, and he wouldn't have to worry about next week at M&M's. And then, for Benjamin Miles, Johnny Gardner, they're 24th and 25th in the points coming to this race. A win would lock them into the chase, a second win this season. Big question mark, drivers that come in 29th and 30th in the points. We already mentioned K Mathews, 30th in points. 2-time winner Leon Alvarise, 29th in points. They need a really good run here today, preferably a win, to be able to get themselves away from that 30th in the standings cut line in order to be able to make the chase next week, well, in 2 weeks, at M&M's. But we are getting ready to put them under green. Let's see what this dirt track will be able to do. We've had unbelievable dirt track racing so far this season at Bristol, Eldora, and Springfield, and now we're underway here at DuQuoin. Brooke Allen right down to the bottom there, going to try and take the top position from Joshua Michaels through 1 and 2. Dylan Poteet, 3-time winner this season, trying to become the first ever 4-time winner in a single season. He's going to go 3 wide there with J Bryant. Meanwhile, Michaels trying to hang on the high side, keep the top spot. Brooke Allen going to drive it deep now into 3 and 4. Look at Garrett Sydnor. Might try and shoot up the middle. Not going to be able to do it. Brooke Allen trying to pull alongside of the 10 car. Can't do it. Joshua Michaels will lead the first lap. So Michaels getting some good exits off of 2 and 4 to keep the top position. And now he's going to pull out in front. Brooke Allen now going to battle for second place with Garrett Sydnor. Joshua Michaels, 2-time Hersheys Cup Series winner, won his first career race back in Season 1 at Pocono. And then his second came in Season 2, as I mentioned, at the regular season finale at Auto Club Raceway. Top 3 have broken away for the moment. Dylan Poteet now up to 4th place as he just bypassed J Bryant through turns 3 and 4. were a number of drivers that I mentioned that came into this race locked into the chase for the championship, regardless of what happens here today and at M&M's, like G Sydnor, like D Poteet. Obviously, they'd be up here trying to get another win, so that way they'd have another 3 bonus points towards when the chase for the championship begins. Another thing you're going to notice here today, as well as at M&M Super Speedway, that I won't be talking a whole lot about, even though you'll see the ticker down on the bottom of your screen, is the stage points here. I mean, they'll finish the stages, they'll get stage points, the top 10 drivers will. However, I won't be really talking that much about that, won't be focusing as much about that, because, to be honest, that's not really a main concern coming here at the end of the regular season. With the fact that we had 17 drivers, race winners, in the top 30 in the points, it's all going to come down to wins now in these final 2 races. Points aren't going to really matter. The only time they're really going to matter is once we start the chase, and we're going to have drivers, trying to get into the top 12, into the top 8, and into the final 4 with the elimination races. And we've got our first caution of the day here, and it'll take place on, I believe it was lap number 4. They just completed lap 4 and put lap 5 on the board, and that is going to... Whoa! Pace car! Oh my goodness! Wow! Pace car's flying. Good lord! Well, trying to pick up the field, but my goodness, that was quite interesting. Pace car, I think, just set the fastest lap of the day here at DuQuoin. But he picks up Joshua Michaels and the rest of the field. And now we're going to have to see if maybe, I was wondering if these drivers might come to pit road here, because I don't think they can make it the full way. And look at this. Very interesting. K Mathews staying out, along with Zachary Fitzwater. Now, I can only assume that Mathews will probably come in next time by, but I think what his strategy might be, get himself that valuable bonus point for leading a lap here at DuQuoin to continue to try and get himself away from that 30th position in the point standings. So he'll stay out along with Zachary Fitzwater and K Tsang, a former winner at a dirt track this season at Eldora. And we will now see what puts under the caution for the first time here today as the rest of the leaders decided to come to pit road here on lap number 6. Well, you can kind of guess what's going to happen here. Look at this. This is 4 wide. This is almost 5 wide practically, but you see M Haas, Brandon Gonzales, Levi McIntire all leaning on each other, and there's just no way they're all going to be able to make it off the exit of 4. And there you're going to see right there, McIntire gets the wall, he gets squeezed in by Gonzales, and then Gonzales gets squeezed in by M Haas, right down in front of traffic. Cole Baker nowhere for the 18 car to go. It's a couple of drivers right there that are running well in the points, Baker and Gonzales and McIntire, who with a win today could have put themselves in the championship chase picture. Sean Gallighan, last time out's winner, getting a little contact there, trying to get by his teammate in the 18. A little contact further up there, too, between McCloud, Flickinger, and there was somebody else there. I couldn't tell who it was. Sideswipe from J Gardner to Sean Gallighan. For the most part, everybody got through that pretty well unscathed. Whoa, close call there for L McIntire as well. And we got a car on pit road. That's J Srigley in the 24. So that's what brought out the caution. Now we're getting told there was a freak accident on pit road. We're going to jump to a replay of that. And we're being told it is with 2-time winner L Alvarise. And, oh, wait, okay, there's what starts up ahead there. Little contact between Nathan Hudson and I think that was K Tellier. Charles Sandfer actually going to the outside, gets hooked by Alvarise. He gets put into the pit wall. Then he's going to turn into his pit stall. He's going to spin Alvarise, which that may have been a little bit of payback there. I'm not certain. Alvarise's car gets pushed up into his pit stall, and it's kind of hard to be able to get a good camera angle here to see what exactly happened. Let's go to the helicopter view. I guess that's our best bet. L McIntosh got spun around back there, too. Oh, Sean Gallighan has L Alvarise pinned up against the wall, and then Alvarise's car just pops up onto its side. Wow. And then the car is going to come back down and then actually teleports to its pit stall. Whoa. That is a freak incident. And like I said, I don't know if Sandfer was giving a little payback there to L Alvarise or if he was just trying to get into his pit stall. Whatever the case, it made quite a stack up there on the back entrance of the pit lane. And we talked about L Alvarise coming into this race 29th in the point standings. This is not good for a 2-time winner this season and his hopes of making the chase for the championship. So K Mathews will get the bonus point for leading a lap, but the interesting thing is he did not come to pit road, nor did Zachary Fitzwater or K Tsang, so apparently those three believe this is not the last caution we are going to be seeing here today at DuQuoin. Out of the race, 1 car, and can't say this for certain, but this could be the death knell for the championship hopes of one L Alvarise. Went to victory lane at a couple of weeks ago at, I think it was Pikes Peak, and had his second win. It was looking like maybe he was going to get himself some redemption, get back into the picture, and this may drop him outside the top 30 in the points as he'll finish 35th in today's event. So K Mathews will lead us down here for the restart, which will take place on lap number 9. Fitzwater also looking for his first win of the season. K Tsang for her second, even though it is mathematically impossible for her to be able to get her way up into the top 30 in the points. Looking for another good run. Then it was Blaine Keys and Benjamin Miles was your top 5 going back to green. And remember, we saw Joseph Srigley on pit road a little bit earlier than everybody else when that caution came out. Well, he restarted in the 9th spot. He's still in the lead lap, so good job by that 24 team to keep him out there, still in the hunt. Some rear end damage there on Blaine Keys, but that didn't stop him taking 3rd from K Tsang. And now Benjamin Miles trying to do the same. He'll move into 4th, but for how long? Here comes the pole sitter, Joshua Michaels, back to the inside. And there's the caution. Caution is out for the second time, so that strategy worked out for Mathews and Fitzwater and K Tsang. They knew apparently that that caution was going to come back out, and it did. So K Mathews will lead us here to yet another yellow flag. And another interesting thing here, I wonder if Mathews would actually want to stay out under this caution as well, because I did mention that points not really that important at this stage. However, they really are important for K Mathews, because every point gets him further away from that 30th position in the points, and 10 valuable stage points with winning the first stage could certainly help him out in that cause. He's already gotten the bonus point for leading a lap. Let's see if he is going to come to pit lane. The only cars that did not come to pit road under that last caution, I believe, were Mathews, Fitzwater, and Tsang. And Mathews is coming to pit road. Wow, everybody's coming again. Well, the top 6 did. Well, top 7, I should say. Joseph Srigley decides to stay out with Poteet, Allen, Bryant, Arndt, Llamas, Hartnett, and others. So some decide to take the opportunity to come to pit road. Some decide not to. Woo, little contact there between K Mathews and M Haas as the 09 leads pit road. Let's take a look at what brought out this, our latest caution here at DuQuoin. This one going to involve a driver coming into this race locked into the chase for the championship. Our winner from Darlington, Jessica Shelton, and looks like she may have just run up the track the least little bit. Gets up into Brooke Allen, and I'm not certain that didn't cut down the right front, which caused her to spin around. Contact there for J Arndt, so he got a piece of it. And then coming into view, going to be some more traffic, and I think the car that's not going to be able to miss is going to be Trent Dunham. Oh, man. Hard shot there for the Cars 3 Chevrolet. There's another car that got involved there, too. That might have been Nathan Hudson. And then a shot there from J Baskinger. Flips the 02 up onto her side. Levi McIntyre and Brandon Gonzales getting involved as well. Fortunately, that 02 car did not flip over onto its roof and barrel roll. It came right back down off 4 wheels. Now I'll just stack up here, and it was indeed Nathan Hudson who also got a slight piece of that incident as well. So that brought the caution out here for the second time here today. You got Baskinger involved in this, along with Dunham, Shelton, a number of drivers who come into this race locked into the chase for the championship. It doesn't look like they're going to be getting that great a finish here today at DuQuoin. Should get the 1 to green signal this time by Joseph Srigley staying out. And so he will restart as the race leader. Srigley was a 2-time winner last season, both his wins coming during the chase for the championship when he won back-to-back races at Lime Rock and Zenjoltis. He has a win this season, but he's so far back in the point standings, there is no way he can possibly get himself into the top 30 in the points. As a matter of fact, to put in perspective, he comes into this race 34th in the point standings. That is the lowest of any driver that has made every start this season. And he has 140 points back from Chris Dodd, who is 33rd in the points. So if he's 140 points out of 33rd place, there's no earthly way in 2 races he's going to be able to make his way into the top 30 in the point standings, even if he went to victory lane here at DuQuoin and in 2 weeks at M&M Super Speedway. Dylan Poteet lines up in 2nd, Brooke Allen in 3rd, JT Bryant in 4th, J Arndt in 5th. We saw him get a piece of that incident, so we'll have to see if he's up to speed Then K Llamas, Emmanuel Hartnett, Dylan Young, K Tellier, and Charles Sandfer. That is your top 10. Got some potentials up here of drivers with a win this season, their first win. Maybe being able to get themselves in the championship hunt. You got Allen in the 3rd position. You've got Hartnett in 7th, Young in 8th, and K Tellier, who has had, 3 podium finishes in the last 4 races. 2 seconds and a 3rd. Trying to pick up her first win of the season. First win of Lincoln's career in the Hersheys Cup Series. Green flag back out on lap 15. Next time by is actually the completion of this stage. And we should mention 2 drivers out of the race after that incident. 3 of them, all 3 that are locked into the chase for the championship, believe it or not. So they could afford a DNF. Shelton, Dunham, and Baskinger. As J Poteet to the inside on J Srigley. This is going to be a drag race back to the line of who's going to get the 10 bonus points. Is it going to be Srigley up high, Poteet down low? Drag race, answer is, I think it's going to be Poteet on the bottom, just barely. And the ticker agrees. So Poteet, who's already locked into the chase with his 3 wins this season, 10 more valuable bonus points here, stage points, that he's going to get with leading and completing the first stage here at DuQuoin. Srigley, nice run through 3, up into 4, almost got into the left rear of the Dragon Ball Z Chevrolet, and he'll go back to the inside, try and take the race lead. Brooke Allen right there, and here comes Emmanuel Hartnett. Now let's not forget, Emmanuel Hartnett was actually a former chaser last season, and he ended up getting in with 1 victory last year. That victory at a dirt track, Eldora Raceway. Back to the point, and now J Poteet going to try and run him down again. Take a look at that 83, though. That 83 is moving up there. He's going to go for 3rd place off of Brooke Allen. Mentioned K Llamas, our winner last time out at a dirt track, as he won at the Springfield Mile. Don't want to say in dominating fashion, but it was almost kind of a runaway for K Llamas. Did a good job there at that track and having a solid outing here today. How about a couple of drivers that we haven't really looked back to find yet, but we really should. We talked about if they were able to get really good finishes, they had a shot of having themselves spots locked up in the chase for the championship. Let's first find J Bryant. There he is. Bryant currently scored in the 11th position, so right now with where he's running, if he can stay there, he would be locked into the chase heading into M&M Super Speedway. The other 2 drivers that we would have to look for at this current point in time would be Benjamin Miles and J Gardner. There's Gardner. Last time by, scored in 15th. Benjamin Miles scored in 17th. So they're having good runs, and we saw K Mathews just there. There's the 09. He's now up in the 12th position, so he's having a good run. We've got the wall there just a bit, and that's going to allow K Dodd to the inside. Anthony McCurry's going to make it 3 wide, and the caution's out. Car up in the wall, that's J Poteet, and he's collected K Llamas. Charles Sandfer involved as well. They were all running up inside the top 7. And J Arndt's got damage now as well on the Zaxby Chevrolet. Caution out for the 3rd time here today, and it was right up at the front of the field. And I think K Tellier, her exit out of 4 looked really low, and I thought maybe she was coming to pit road. So Srigley will lead us here just past the halfway point under our 3rd caution of the day, and a number of drivers that were up at the front involved in this one, a number of them confirmed drivers in the chase for the championship again. J Arndt, Poteet, Sandfer, and Llamas all locked into the chase coming into this race. They all were involved here in our 3rd caution of the day. That's just opening the door for first-time winner to get to victory lane. I mean, look now, you got Srigley, Tellier, Hartnett, Brooke Allen. You got Dylan Young, T Walch, along with K Dodd now in the top 10, and Srigley's coming to pit road along with Hartnett, so that's going to put K Tellier out in front. So K Tellier will lead us back to the green flag when we come back, but for now, we're going to step aside, take a look at the incident that took place right up inside the top 10. It was the battle for 2nd place, Emmanuel Hartnett driving it really hard off of 4. Can't say you blame him, though. I mean, Poteet's got 3 wins. He's already locked into the chase. Hartnett wants the position probably a lot more because it's an opportunity for him to get into the chase. And he just keeps in. Actually, I don't think he keeps it in the left rear. I think he just couldn't get off of Poteet. Hartnett goes down. He gets the wall. Poteet goes for a spin. Now, watch this. That car just slides right there. He just barely clips Charles Sandfer in the left rear. Nowhere for K Llamas to go. And there's J Arndt getting involved as well. Sandfer's car going to slide up hard into the outside wall. I think he hit a bit of that steel guardrail as well with the right side of his machine. And K Llamas just can't dislodge himself from the 31 either. So there you have it right there. 4 cars involved. 4 drivers that are in the chase for the champion. Oh, and oh my goodness! That's J McCloud, Poteet's teammate. I don't know if he got on the brakes or what, but that car just snapped loose, and he nearly blindsided his own teammate there into turn 1. That could have been really bad. But that's what brings out the caution for the first time, wishful thinking. The 3rd time here today at DuQuoin. We'll now go back for the green flag. The odds are getting more and more in favor of another first-time winner, which could make it very interesting heading into our regular season finale in a couple of weeks at M&M Super Speedway. Still under caution, waiting for the lights to go out atop the pace car, so we'll be able to go back green. Still, we'll have, I think when we go back green, we'll have roughly 6 laps left till the completion of our 2nd stage before we go into our 10-lap 3rd and final stage. K Tellier out in front, trying to close the deal. You go back 4 weeks ago to Thornton Raceway. She finished 2nd in that race to J Baskinger. Then you go to Daytona. She finished 26th. Didn't have the best of runs. But then, a week later at Pikes Peak, she finished in the 3rd position. And last week at Hillside, she finished 2nd to Gallighan. As mentioned, 3 podium finishes in her last 4 starts, trying to close out the deal. She was a 2-time winner last season, both her wins at road courses at Vignana and the Glen, trying to get it done here at the dirt track of DuQuoin to make it into her 2nd chase for the championship. Srigley lines up 2nd, Hartnett in 3rd, then it's J Bryant, K Mathews, Benjamin Miles up there in 6th, Caitlin Tsang now back up in the picture in 7th, Polster Joshua Michaels is now back up there in 8th, 9th is M Haas and J McCloud. Despite we seeing him spin and really pound that outside wall there in turn 1, he'll restart in the top 10. Let's give you a little bit further down in your running order. Garrett Sydnor restarts in 11th, 12th for the 2nd Lincoln, and K Batson in 12th. Levi McIntyre 13th after he's had early struggles. Cole Baker up in 14th with Dallas McIntosh 15th. Dylan Poteet restarts in 16th. Brooke Allen, Dylan Young, Tim Walsh, and Johnny Gardner are your top 20. Nobody out of the race after that incident we just saw. However, Charles Sandfer and J Arndt, they spent a little bit extra time on pit road, and you see K Llamas lining up the only car currently 1 lap down. Green flag will come back out. We will have 16 laps to go. K Tellier gets us back underway. Woo! Joseph Srigley looked a little squirrely there, heading down into the entrance of turn 1, and he's going to pay the price. Hartnett's going to move to 2nd. Look at K Mathews trying to get by the lap car of K Llamas. He almost thought about sticking it 4 wide through 1 and 2. Cody just trying to get out of the way right now because it is mayhem all around him. Side by side, Benjamin Miles, Caitlin Tsang. Meanwhile, side by side for 3rd. J Bryant, our Dover race winner, on the inside of Joseph Srigley. And meanwhile, up front, Emmanuel Hartnett trying to reel in K Tellier for the top position. And we may be under caution again. Nope, we're still green. Some angles, you just can't see the lights. You have to wait. Wow, Hartnett was really good there through the middle of 3 and 4. And he got a big run off of turn 4. We saw him before when he ended up turning Dylan Poteet. He got a heck of a run off of 4, and he wasn't going to lift. That 83 car is dialed up, and he's about to battle for the race lead here with K Tellier. 2 drivers who battled last season in the chase for the championship. 2 drivers who are not yet locked into this season's chase. They're going to have to deal with some traffic here, it looks like. That's John Gallighan and J Arndt battling for position. 2 drivers that are locked into the chase. And now K Tellier are going to drive to the inside on J Arndt. Let's see what Hartnett's going to be able to do as these 2 now have to deal with traffic. Hartnett to the inside of Arndt. Tellier to the inside of Gallighan. Gallighan was her Achilles heel last week at Hillside when she finished 2nd to him. So it must be some good satisfaction for her today to be putting him off the lead lap. Next car up ahead would be C Llamas, who's already 1 lap down to the race leaders. Tellier will clear Sean Gallighan, and now we'll get by C Llamas. Look at Hartnett. Whoa! I thought for a moment he was going to drive it deep and try going up the middle for the race lead, but instead had to lift a little bit there, maybe drove it in a little too hard, and now Tellier and Hartnett are clear of the traffic, at least for the moment. Mentioned how Hartnett, his only win last season, ended up coming at a dirt track at Eldora. K Tellier, though, if she closes the deal today, it'll be her first win at a dirt track. Her only other 2 wins mentioned already, both road courses last season. Hartnett, boy, Tellier seems to be so much better through 1 and 2. Hartnett through 3 and 4. Let's see, he's going to try and maybe set her up here in 3 and 4. Drives it to the bottom. If he can wind it up in the middle of the corner, he may be able to get her off of 4. He got back to the throttle a little bit sooner. Right to the left rear quarter panel. Not quite able to get there. So Hartnett going to have to try again. Next time by, it is 10 laps to go, and this is the battle at the front. More importantly, this is a potential battle for a spot in the chase for the championship. K Tellier coming into this race after all the good finishes she's had in the last couple of weeks, 9th in the standings. Hartnett at this point coming into this race, 27th in points. Both of them inside the top 30 in points, so a win would get them an opportunity to be in the chase for the championship. And I think Hartnett, with him even running 27th in points, with the fact that he's been up here pretty much in the top 10 for most of this race, he's going to get those valuable stage points. And if he can win, I think he would jump up high enough in the point standings that he wouldn't have to worry about falling out of the top 30 in points next week at M&M's. K Tellier, we know for certain, being in the top 10 in the standings, there's no way she'd fall down out of the top 30 in the points, so it would be a guaranteed chase spot for K Tellier if she wins here today at DuQuoin. But it's still anybody's guess of who's going to win this thing, because I don't know if we've seen the best Hartnett has to offer yet. Also the potentiality of were these drivers, after these 3 cautions, are they able to make it on fuel? I think so. All they've done is make fuel stops when they come to pit road. They haven't had to change the tires because dirt tracks do not wear out tires at all unless you get extremely hard on the brakes. And I guarantee you these drivers are not using their brakes. You don't use brakes at a dirt track. K Tellier, every lap she takes away is one last lap she has to defend against Emmanuel Hartnett. I think the problem for Emmanuel Hartnett right now is K Tellier has kind of taken away his line. He was really good running in the middle of the corner, but you see that's where the 70 is running right now. Drifted up a little high there. Hartnett did the same though. Seems like whatever line Hartnett's running, K Tellier is kind of mirroring it, which takes away his line, and whenever he gets a run, he can't put his car where he needs to be able to make a move. A little lower that time through 3 and 4 for Hartnett. Does he close up the gap at all? Well, he might have picked it up a little bit there, and I think he brushed the wall a tiny bit off of 4. But he gets a much better exit through turn 4. Oh, look at this. A little bit lower again through 1 and 2. Hartnett's trying it. He's trying to go about half groove lower, and you see right there, you saw him lose a little bit of ground. He had to lift to be able to compensate for his exit off the corner. L McIntire is crossing the line right now. The leaders are in the middle of 3 and 4, so I don't think we'll have any traffic to deal with. Hartnett tries it again through 3 and 4. That's his best part of the racetrack. He is so much better than K Tellier there, but everything he gains through 3 and 4, he loses over in 1 and 2. You see him try and run about a half groove lower there in 1 and 2, but he just can't make the stick. He has to lift to be able to get off of 2. Watch him again. He's going to close the gap up here through 3 and 4. Oh, Tellier ran a little bit lower that time as well. And Tellier may have run a little wide. Hartnett's going to get a much better exit off of 4. At the line, 4 laps to go. Tellier way low this time. Hartnett runs a little bit higher. And Hartnett appears to be almost diamonding the corners now, and he's going to get a big run down the back straightaway here. Still about a car length and a half, maybe 2 car lengths off the back bumper of K Tellier. I keep hearing those engines up ahead, but I don't think they're going to encounter the track. Oh my goodness! K Tellier just had to pit! That turns the lead over to Emmanuel Hartnett. Is this race going to come down to fuel strategy in the closing stages? Is Hartnett going to be able to make it? Now, if I remember correctly, Hartnett came to pit road under that last caution along with Joseph Srigley, so I think he's got a couple laps extra fuel than everybody else did. Let's see if he decides to risk it. Out of turn 4, is Hartnett going to be coming to pit lane, or is he going to stay out? He's going to stay out. Flickinger's on pit road. There's a couple other drivers that aren't going to be able to make it. They're on the pit lane. That is turned second place over now to, I believe, Benjamin Miles in the 25. Nope, they got James McCloud actually scored now in second. There he is. Third place is now Srigley. Fourth is Joshua Michaels in the battle for fifth. McCrury's going to pop up into the top 5, passing both K Tsang and Sean Gallighan. And Hartnett, he is going to stay out one more time. White flag displayed for the Dustless Blasters Toyota Camry. Can Emmanuel Hartnett make it around one more time to capture his third career win in the Hersheys Cup Series, first of the season, and get himself into the chase for the championship? So far, we've only got one Toyota locked into the chase this season. That is M Haas. Looks like we're going to have another. It's Yoda Power. Here today at DuQuoin Raceway, Emmanuel Hartnett is going to pick up his first win of the season. He wins today at DuQuoin. And you got to think back, that pit stop back under our last caution for Srigley and Hartnett, that must have been the difference maker. Both drivers are going to come away with podium finishes, but more importantly for Hartnett, a driver who came in 27th in the point standings, he is going to go to victory lane for the first time this season and may have just locked himself up a spot in the chase for the Hersheys Cup Series Championship, and now makes it very interesting between himself and Kyle Mathews potentially for that final chase spot heading into M&M Super Speedway, and that's if we don't have another different winner in 2 weeks. It just keeps getting more and more interesting here in the Hersheys Cup Series. Standing should be official. Hartnett picks up his third win of his career, second win of his career at a dirt track. His second win came at Eldora. I'm trying to remember where he went to victory lane back in Season 2. And I can't seem to pull it in. I'll look that up here while we're looking at our finishing results. McCloud, that's an amazing finish, in my opinion, for McCloud, because we saw him come flying in to that wreck under our last caution. I thought the way he had clobbered the wall that car was done, but he was able to battle back for second. Joseph Srigley, great run for him. He spent some time out in front. He gets third. Joshua Michaels, how about that car? I mean, he kind of fluctuated throughout the day. Started on point on the pole position, fell outside of the top 10, moved back into the top 10, fell outside of the top 10, and then the closing stages popped up to finish in fourth place. And Anthony McCurry, we saw that power move he made to get by both Sean Gallighan and K Tsang in the closing stages. He will finish in the top 5. Great run for him. M Haas will finish the day out in 6th. Brooke Allen in 7th. Garrett Sydnor 8th. Nathan Hudson, that's another car that got involved in an incident earlier on. He gets 9th, and the same for Levi McIntyre. He got involved, I think it was in the first wreck of the day, and he battles back for a solid 10th place finish. So great run for him. Then you got Chris Dodd, he'll finish in 11th. Brandon Gonzales in 12th. K Tellier having to pit there in the closing stages, and so Tellier finishes out the day in the 13th position. Tough break there. It looked like she was all set to put that car in victory lane, but fuel strategy not working out in her favor. Benjamin Miles also had to give up a top 5 run. He'll finish 14th after he had to pit. Caitlin sang the same for her in 15th, and she was the last car to finish on the lead lap. As you look on down through the remainder of the finishing results, notably Kyle Mathews. He needed a good run today. He finishes in the 29th position. Not good for him. Also, L Alvarise needed a good run today. He finishes in 35th place. You also talked about J Bryant, how he needed like a top 15 finish to get himself a locked up spot in the chase for the championship. He finishes 30th. So we can't really confirm that he's going to be in the chase for the championship yet until the checkered flag waves at M&M Super Speedway. So still a lot of question marks. While we know a number of drivers that are locked into the chase for the championship, still a lot of question marks of drivers that could potentially still not be in the hunt for the championship. here in the Hersheys Cup Series. So that's the full finisher results. Emmanuel Hartnett, as mentioned, picks up his third win of the season. I actually said that his first win came back in Season 2. I was incorrect. It was actually back in Season 1 when he won at Rockingham, North Carolina. So, his second career win at a dirt track and his first year of the season. Has this put Emmanuel Hartnett in his second Hersheys Cup Series chase for the championship? We'll have to wait and see. Thank you all for tuning to today's race. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give us a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. We've shown you full finisher results. Up next, it's your rookie points as well as your overall points. In 2 weeks, we have our regular season finale where we will determine who the official 16 drivers will be that will battle for this season's Hersheys Cup Series championship. But next week is Hersheys Cup Series non-charter action with their 20th race of the season, and then the regular season finale for the Pizza Hut X Series. We'll see them both at Kentucky Speedway. 12 drivers will battle for the Pizza Hut X Series Championship. Who will they be? We'll find out at Kentucky next week. The Hersheys Cup Series Charter Series taking the off week, and then we will see them back the following week at M&M Super Speedway. So hope you'll tune into all that action coming up in the upcoming weeks. Till then, I've been Seth Cole signing off. We'll see you guys as we continue on our chase towards the chase for the championship here on the S3 Sports Channel. Offline racing at its best.